welcome to DasGeek. So you guys know that my favorite headphones to this point has been the Audio Technica Airs. They were just an incredible, versatile, open ear headphone that I just absolutely love. The problem is I was on the Destination Linux podcast. We're recording an episode and the cat decided to chew through the wire. And while you can replace the wires on the Airs, it's a little bit of a pain, and it was a good excuse for the wife of why I needed a new pair of headphones. So what's been on my wish list for a while is these K702s, and I finally picked them up, and I am going to tell you all about them here. But first, I like to hear what the manufacturer has to say about them because they should know their product better than anybody. So switching here out of full screen, they are for monitoring, mastering, and mixing. So what is the difference? Well, if you have a gaming pair of headphones, they're going to be focused on that directional, generally focused on the lows, so you get that bassy boom, but that directional sound that's going to come through your mids and your lows is where the focal point is going to go on. When you have monitoring, mastering, and mixing headphones, and I am an audiophile hobbyist, so I'm by no means an expert. If you know more, leave it down below, but I can tell you the sound profiles that I hear differently with these style of headphones is they're far more highs, mids, and lows and balanced to natural sounds. So when you're listening to orchestra, when you're listening to, metal, rock, whatever, you're hearing more of the various instruments. You can kind of pick them out individually as you're listening because of those more in-depth soundstage across the highs, the mids, and the lows that you get to take in versus a headphone that's dedicated to a sole purpose, like gaming headset, for instance, which is going to focus more on directional, not as much about the quality of the voice and the sounds or your treble or your upper mids. So that's where these come in. So this is fantastic for podcast work. It's fantastic for hi-fi music listening. If you're definitely one of those individuals who are into quality music, you've got DACs and amps and those type of things, then these style of headphones would be for you. Mixers, DJs, mastering, that type of thing. Of course, these are meant for you. So some of the things they talk about here is revolutionary flat wire technology, of course, the high performance magnets, the Varimotion 2-layer diaphragm, detachable cable. We won't tell the wife that because at the point I want to get a new headset, we'll just say, oh man, once the wires cut, you can't do anything with it. Unique and replaceable heavy duty 3D cut ear pads. So that's these right here. And man, they are soft, but we'll get into that in a minute. The genuine leather headband that goes on top of your head. So I'll go in full screen and show you guys this in more detail, but you can see that band here on the screen. So that's very similar to the Audio Technica Airs, but they had the wings that kind of rested. So it was split in the middle and they kind of had these wings here. This is just one big band piece. Very, very comfortable. Pre-selected transducers, individually tested and numbered, made in Austria. So if we go down here to the spec sheet, you can see that our impedance here is at 62 ohms. So while you could run these off of a cell phone or an iPod or your phone, if it has a 3.5 millimeter jack anymore, you might have to get the Lightning or whatever to converter because nobody wants to put a 3.5 millimeter jack in phones anymore. But that's a whole nother problem. In any case, you could run it on those devices, but you're not going to get the full peak or power of these. And I can tell you with these headphones, there is definitely a huge difference between how they sound when you're just running them, say, through your PC sound card or you're running them through a phone versus running them through a DAC or amp that properly powered. The volume that you can get out of these, out of your phone and other things, really leaves a lot to be desired unless you have a portable DAC or amp. I mean, it's good, and you're not going to be like, I can't hear it, but it's not going to give you that full oomph that you get when you have a DAC or amp, and that's where these really pick up. And that's the case with all of these headphones in this range. Now, speaking of this range, these headphones go for somewhere around $279 brand new. I'm going to have a link to my affiliate Amazon down below so you could go check and pick them up. You can also see if you could get a good pair used on eBay. Now, here's the thing. You've got to be careful with eBay because there's a lot of fakes out there. I don't know if there's fakes with these per se, but there's a lot of fakes of everything out there. So sometimes if the deal looks too good to be true, it probably is. Do your homework. Make sure that you're not being sold some rebranded fake. So I definitely suggest, if you can, going through a legit retailer If you cannot because of the cost or whatever, and you need to pick them up used, just do your homework on the individual, make sure that they're legitimate. So these are the AKGs up close and personal. The one thing I'll tell you about the design is there's lots of plastic. There is plastic everywhere on these, but it is high quality plastic and it makes them very, very light. So now I'm going to go back into full screen. I know you don't want to see my hideous face and show you some of these up close. So here we've got a little bit of metal, and that's where kind of the metal ends on this. On the surrounding part, we've got plastic. Here you've got a little metal, but then this feels kind of plastic to me. You've got this nice soft cushion here with the cushions, very, very soft. You could wear these literally for 8 to 12 hours and you'll forget they're on your head until you get up from the desk and walk away and you yank it out of your computer. That's how soft they are. You've got this nice leather band here, and you've got these wires, which I assume are metal covered in plastic. And then you've got plastic here kind of holding that leather strap on. And that's probably the cheapest feeling part, well, the plastic inside, but it is double layered, snapped on there. And then, of course, you have your replaceable headphone jack that you could just pull out and put a new jack in if you want a new wire. So that's a little bit about these. It's nice, labeled left and right, so you don't get confused. And that is a look at them. So comfort wise, they are a 10 all day long. The headband rests very, very comfortably. Even a hat with the little knot at the top, it doesn't push down on my head heavily. You know, I like to wear the hats a lot. So these are very comfortable to carry, to wear around, but they are very big. So if you're going to go to a gym or something, if you care about your looks, you might look a little bit goofy in them, but who cares how you look anyways, as long as you're getting that good sound, baby. They are very, very soft. The cushions on the ears, which are replaceable, are also just, it's like a memory foam or something in there. They just hug your ears like little baby angels just holding on. It's amazing. So comfort 10 all day long. The build quality, even though there's a lot of plastic in here, they have metal in the right places. The plastic helps keep these very, very light. And for that, I'm going to give them a 9. So I think the build quality is good. They spent the money where they should spend the money, which was the speakers and the technology inside the headphones. And where they needed to reinforce, they did. I don't feel like these are going to break very easily. You would have to beat them up pretty bad. And frankly, besides the cats chewing on wires, these don't leave my desk very often at all. So we talked about the impedance. You're going to probably want to get an amp, or a DAC amp combo, something that's going to be able to power these and to get their full potential. With that said, you're going to get good sound out of them plugging them directly into your computer or laptop. You're just not going to get that full volume if you like to listen to your music very loud. Leakage is the thing with these. These are open ear headphones, so you've kind of got that open environment sound coming in, and because of that, they're not closed down or hugging tight to your ears. There is some leakage. Now I'm playing, I think it's a soundtrack right now, Mass Effect 3 original soundtrack. Let's see if you can pick it, if the mic can pick it up. So let me know if you could hear that a little bit. I'll be able to check it in the editing to see if it's picked it up at all. But what I can tell you for sure, just even listening in that short span, I love gaming soundtracks, by the way, but any orchestra or music, this one has the kind of some deep bass in there. The soundstage on these is just magic. Amazing soundstage. Now, my favorite headphones to this point have been the Audio Technica Airs, and the Audio Technica Airs are still incredible headphones. Pound for pound, I would rate these at exactly the same. I would give the Audio Technica Airs probably 4.5 to 4.9, almost near perfect soundstage. The Airs had a little bit less on the bass side than these have. Because of that, while there's a little bit missing on the highs with these and compared to the Airs, overall the soundstage here is the most balanced, because sometimes I like some dubstep, I like some rap, some stuff with some beat in it, and these definitely give you more of that low soundstage, and because of that, they are absolutely 100% on par. And I think, frankly, these are more comfortable than the Airs. The Airs, by the way, we're comparing like a feather pillow to a down pillow. I mean, it's user preference at this point. They're both so good and so well made. And I'm sure with audiophile stuff, the prices can get into the thousands. That there's more comfortable, maybe when you get into the $1,000, $2,000 range. But we're talking a human mortal price range here, what we can afford, and these are just incredible. I love the Soundstage. The sound that I get out of them is incredible. And you can replace the cord very easily as well. So if your cat eats them, that's great. So whether you are a metalhead, a rap god, an orchestra, country, voice work, you will love this Soundstage because it gives you a little bit of everything. You get the fantastic highs for the voice work and the mids in there as well. For metal, you get the nice mids with the bass. You're not going to get that beat style muffled bass in there. It's not going to be that low. It's not going to break your eardrums with the boom, 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 but it's enough. It's there. You could feel what the artist originally meant to do with that bass. And that's kind of what these monitoring style headphones are for. It's very accurate. That's the sound profile, is accurate and on point. I absolutely love the K702s. Yes, they may be big and bulky, but they're light and comfy, and I recommend them all day long. This is a geek squeal worthy audiophile gear. Go pick them up. Check out the Amazon affiliate link if you want to help support the channel. Also, we have Patreon. Patreon gives you some cool perks, like you get a Telegram group where you get to talk with me directly and actually leave the notification on so you could bother me like all night and wake up everybody in the house and stuff. If you want, I might have to change that. In any case, you could join that for less than just a dollar a month, and or more if you want, and that helps support the channel, helps me get new gear and things out there. And that's it. I'm going to keep listening to some soundtracks and enjoying this sound. And until next time, get out there and fill your brains. Don't get too smart. Does that like